SMCI with the buzzer beater. SMCI had up until today, February 25th, to file the missing 10K and 10Q in order not to get delisted from the Nasdaq. And guess what? They did just that after the market closed. So right now, at the time of making this video, stock is up over 23%. Now, to be honest, I thought it would be up way more than this. Now, just so you know, after the market closed, stock was actually down 4%. Then when it was released, it was up 15%. Now we're up a little bit more than that. Of course, after hours, not always the same volume as when the market is open. So probably tomorrow when the market is open, this might go even higher. Now, of course, all of you probably still need to go through all of those SEC filings. If you want to go through the 10Q, I think that's 69 pages. The 10K is, well, much longer than that because, well, those are numbers from last year, basically. Now, that's fine, right? They filed, so they're not getting delisted. So that's the biggest worry that's gone with this stock. But as you will see, they themselves admitted that there are some things that needs to be addressed inside the company. They also talked, by the way, about the family links inside other companies, which was what was mentioned in that short seller report, and the risk of, well, what happens if one of those companies that they're working with, and I think it's the brother of the CEO of Supermicro, that's the CEO of one of those companies. So what happens if one of those companies gets acquired and they don't like the structure and the deals that have been made between SMCI and those companies? That could hurt, of course, SMCI's business. But of course, these are risk factors that you have to take into consideration, and these things aren't new. So there is that. Now, let's go over a couple of things I want to discuss in this video. Of course, Wednesday after the market closes, the big one, NVIDIA will report their next quarterly figures. I already did a preview video, so if you missed that, that will be in top right corner. Wednesday, lunch hour, I believe in the US Eastern, I will go live and talk about the earnings reports that happened, well, at the time of making this video. Coupang, Lemonade, First Solar, and whatever else happened. So if you're interested in all of that, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the future live streams as well. And if you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment with the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. So the big press release that we were all waiting for: Supermicro files 10K for fiscal 24 and forms 10Q for the first and second quarters of fiscal 2025. They said the following: the company is now current with its SEC filings reporting obligations. There were no restatements of previously filed financial statements. The company has received correspondence from the Nasdaq staff that the company has regained compliance with the filing requirements and the matter is now closed. Today's filing represents an important milestone. Well, important milestone should have been in this situation to start with, Charles. With our financial reporting now current, we can now fully focus on executing our proven winning growth strategy through technology, product, and solution innovations, time to market advantage, global footprint, and green computing. We are investing extensively in people and process across our engineering, sales, finance, accounting, compliance, and operations to achieve our great mission in direct liquid cooling data center building block solution, or Supermicro 4.0, as well as our revenue target. Supermicro is accelerating at the forefront of the AI revolution, helping our customers, partners, and driving strong returns for investors. The revenue target is probably the fiscal year 25 target that they've put, which is lower than what was previously. I think previously they thought this would be $30 billion. Now it's closer to $26 billion, if I remember correctly. But a big number is, of course, for fiscal 26, where they expect revenue to hit $40 billion. And Charles said during the call that this is conservative. Then again, I don't think I'll trust him so quickly after this whole fiasco here. So, okay, if they do achieve that $40 billion, as we've said in previous videos, then the stock is extremely undervalued right now, right? $40 billion in sales. You're now a market cap of around $30 billion. So, yeah, definitely a disconnect. But I would still assume that the market has some trust issues with SMCI. Although, if you remember, a couple of months ago, this stock was trading at $20. We're now above $50, which, by the way, we're back to prices not seen since last Friday. And so if we go here to their SEC filing page on their own website, it's all there, 10K, 10Q, and another 10Q. And so let's talk a little bit about a couple of things that I found in those reports. So first of all, they said the following. As previously reported in our annual report on Form 10K for the year ended June 30, 2024, management identified certain material weaknesses in our internal controls over financial reporting, primarily pertaining to 1. Information technology general controls of certain IT systems that support the company's financial reporting process that were not appropriately identified, designed, or implemented. A couple of other things here. I'm not going to read all of that, but these things were reported previously. But the thing here is that 1. Their management is now committed to remediating the material weaknesses that they have identified and fostering continuous improvement in their internal controls, which means that these things have not been resolved just yet. They continue by saying, we are evaluating the material weaknesses described above and designing plans to remediate these weaknesses and enhancing our internal control environment. These plans include 1. Hiring additional qualified technical accounting, financial reporting, and internal audit personnel with public company experience, which, by the way, I think we've spoken about that in the live stream. I think you can find some job openings that will tackle these exact things here. So, okay, things are starting to move, but then again, I assume most of us wanted to see this already happen in the last couple of months. But okay. Second, continuing to conduct more training sessions for our accounting and finance staff focus on sufficiently documenting our internal control over the completeness and accuracy of the information we use to support our financial reporting. Third, reviewing the organization of our IT group with the goal of ensuring the organization can fully support the internal controls needs of our company. Then, number 4, designing additional monitoring controls over manual journal entries. I mean, to be honest, it's quite crazy that I'm reading these things right now and you think about how important this company actually is for the entire semiconductor industry. Plus, it's a $30 billion company. These things shouldn't really happen. But okay. Last thing here, upgrading our IT systems to include features that will scale, automate, and strengthen our internal control. So all of those things need to happen, of course, or maybe a year, 2 years from now, we are back in the same situation we were last August. They continue by saying, we are committed to a strong internal control environment and to remediate these material weaknesses as soon as possible. So again, these things need to be addressed as soon as possible. And then the last thing here is, of course, where revenue is coming from. So we have here the comparisons, 22, 23, 24. So they said the following. Fiscal year 24 compared with fiscal year 2023. The year-over-year increase in overall net sales is driven by an increase in demand from customers for GPU servers, HPC, and RISC-scale solutions, which have higher ASPs, especially for large enterprise and data center customers from the United States. The year-over-year increase of net sales in the regions outside the United States is mainly due to an increase in net sales in Singapore, Taiwan, South Africa, and Germany, including the increase in demand from customers for GPU servers in those countries. So again, we have here Singapore popping up. And well, if you've heard the reports and the rumors, you know that, well, there are a lot of question marks as to, is Singapore really the location that these things are going through? Or is this just a pit stop? Is this just, it goes to Singapore and then from Singapore it goes to, well, China, which technically is not allowed. So we'll see. Hopefully in the NVIDIA's earnings call, they'll get a question about Singapore and they'll touch on that. They'll touch on the H20, the restrictions and all of that. But yeah, this is, of course, since SMCI is, again, it's a crucial company in the whole semiconductor industry. So it's always good to see these types of data points and the year-over-year increases here. I mean, when you look at Asia, for example, the percentage of total sales in 2023 was 14.7%, down from 21.9% in 2022. But then in 2024, with more restrictions, it jumped to 19.4%. Where was the drop? Well, Europe basically dropped from 14.1% to 8.6%. And so right now, what do we see? Well, first of all, if we look at the weekly, the red candle that we had before they filed the 10K and the 10Q, we can see that it jumped just above that 20-day moving it touched, and then it recovered a little bit, quite close to the 200-day moving average. And now, well, we're going to get a green candle if we stay up 23-24% tomorrow when we open, which again is basically where we were last week. So I don't know. I said that if they would file on time, they managed to do that, which they did. I thought this stock would have jumped way more than 20 to 25%. Maybe I'm just crazy. I mean, the stock is true. The stock is already up quite a lot. So maybe someone knew something and that's why the stock was already up quite a lot in the last couple of weeks. But again, valuation-wise, pricing-wise, it could go much higher. It could go to $100 now that, well, the delisting fears are basically gone. So maybe during the day it will be up way more because more people can buy during the day. So we'll see. I just thought that maybe after hours this thing was already up 30, 40, maybe even 50%. We've seen that with other stocks. So maybe there are still some trust issues from Wall Street, but all in all, for the traders and whatnot that picked this name when it was $20, even $30, or maybe even before they filed, congratulations on this win. Now, of course, it's up to you to know whether or not you want to continue to own this stock. I know you're going to ask me, do you want to own this stock right now that you know that it's not going to get delisted? I'll be honest with you, no. I still would not touch this stock because I still don't fully trust management. You say, oh, that doesn't make any sense. They just filed. Yeah, I know they filed, but these things needed to be filed last summer and a couple of months ago. So yeah, excuse my skepticism on this one. But again, like I said, crucial company for the whole semiconductor industry. And to be honest, if they would not have filed on time, then I think our semiconductor stocks in our portfolio would have gotten hit a little bit more in the short run. Although Nvidia could change it all tomorrow when they report their next quarterly figures. But of course, that's for another video. So congrats to all the holders, the investors, the traders, whatnot. Congratulations. And well, share your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you enjoy this type of videos, hit all the buttons, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.